Assalamu alaikum. So let's see what's the next step of our project. So everything in the UI is working. So let's just get the data from the database and let it show up in this table. Okay, so let's do that. When we hit the refresh button, everything should appear in this table. So let's do that. Let's create a function, or first of all let's connect to the database because we are not connected to the database. So let's create a function that makes us connect to the database. So DB, so DB connect self.pass. We should be calling this every time we start the project. So self let's call it DB connect. We already gave it a name. Okay, so the DB connect, and after this I should give it the self dot. Okay, so I didn't create that function yet, but let me do it. So I need a function to get the data. So they get data self pass, and I need to do a handle button in here. So self button refresh dot clicked connect okay, what's wrong with me? Self dot get data. Okay, so self dot get data. One thing again, and that should be to get data every time we start the project. So let's do that in the UI change, not in the constructor. So let's call it get data self dot get data. Okay, so it's being called every time we are starting our project, because the UI changes is being called in the constructor every time we start our project, and constructor is the first thing that is being called after every time you start any project in Python. So DB Thunder connect should have a, so finally we are gonna use the MDB as, okay, so MySql connector as MDB. So go to your DB connect database, so and give it self.connection. I'm gonna give it a let's see, so self.connection okay self.connection mydb, so mdb like I called it. I should connect, so I have already created the database. So the first stuff, let's start by the host. Give it local host, give it the user, which is root user, give it the password, and that should be TOOR, and the database, and that should be YouTube tutorial. Okay, that's our connection, and let's create a cursor to work with in this project. So let's do self.connection cursor. Okay, so we are gonna use this variable for the cursor from now on. So we are officially 4 minutes on. We have connected to the database. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, first of all, let's just do index.py. I don't think I have called this anywhere in db.connect. Let's have a thing that prints the self.connection to see if we have successfully connected to our database. So self index. So we did connect to our database. So MySql connector.connection.MySql connection object at whatever ID is that in our memory. Okay, so next up we have to get our data. So this is the function of, this is the part where we are gonna use MySql again. So let's get ready for that section.